Grand Rising Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, the comments, the generous donations in all forms. I appreciate everything. We're going to go ahead and ring the bell. We're going to clear out the energy, and then we're going to see what the message the Spirit has for us. It wasn't an extremely loud ring, but it had power behind it. And people are starting to realize that you are a powerhouse alone. That you just have that quality about you, that strength about you. Hey, Malcolm. You don't play, the one thing they're finding out is you don't play emotional games, the mind manipulation games. You don't fall into the traps that people try and set for you. You're just a strong powerhouse. Hey, Charlene. Bottom of the deck, the Queen of Cups. And you know what? This could be because of your intuition. This could be because of the way that you sense energy. It's like something about you, like I feel like, you know what? I feel like you don't have a problem taking on the devil. I feel like you don't have a problem taking on the devil as far as any type of challenge, because you already know that it's a spiritual battle that we fight. It's not necessarily the physical. Hey, Imani. Hey, Joshua. How are you? Yeah, it's like something about you makes other people fear you. And really, they're afraid to cross you because, I don't know if it's because your boundaries are so high up in a protective stance. Hey, Lightworker William. But I feel like people are afraid to cross you. They're afraid to challenge you. They know that they don't necessarily want to go to war with you because, like I said, you already know it's a spiritual battle. Confirmation, and you are not afraid to fight. Hey, Robert. Yeah, people see that you have a lot of power. A lot of power. And I feel like, what you one of the things that you do is you constantly yield or wield that power. You wield that power. Like if you have that big stick, you don't have a problem swatting things away. Yeah. Like I said, people know that they're not going to be able to play these emotional games with you. They can't even play mind fuck games with you, because it's like you hear the message, what they're trying to tell you, and you see it coming before it actually arrives. Like if somebody's trying to play in your emotions, trying to act like, oh, we all this and we all that. Well, their mouth has said it, but their action shows something different, and you're looking at the actions. Yeah, you're strong and independent by yourself. You are an empress, and people, it's like they pictured you, even though you were by yourself, even though you were an empress, they pictured you as being somebody that was weak, that wasn't able to defend themselves. But you know what? You call judgment on a lot of curses and a lot of games and a lot of things that people tried to send your way. You've called judgment on that, which has left them emotionally regretting it. This is somebody who is in regret for trying to play with you. Something about somebody. This is somebody that was doing they're in the dark arts. This is somebody who is some type of dark warlock, some type of dark witch, some type of dark wizard. This is somebody who plays in the dark energy, But, and like I said, this is somebody that was trying to, it's like this person was trying to sell you some type of, like a wooden nickel. That's not the words I was trying to say. But something that they were trying to do, like they were trying to build something up, trying to convince you of something, trying to get you to invest in something that they were talking about and something that they were trying to do or trying to say. But you didn't fall for it. You didn't fall for it. You didn't listen to it. You just let it go. You've already been around the block. You've already learned the lessons as far as when it comes to relationships and things that people tell you, things that people say. I feel like there's somebody else in this picture too, who is just as strong, and they wear their heart on their sleeve, just like you. I feel like you protect yourself, but at the same time, you're comfortable enough and you're confident enough to wear your heart on your sleeve. And I feel like this is somebody who's your match. They want to protect you in some way. It's almost like you don't see it coming. You don't see this person coming, but they're here. Somebody, like I said, they wanted to play some type of game with you. They didn't think that you would see that they was trying to play some type of game with you, but you saw it. And not only did you see it, you turned it around. And it's not so much of a game. People try and fuck with people. Confirmation. Somebody didn't think that you was going to be able to see that. But you know what you did? You walked away. You pictured it and you walked away. And you left them sitting right where they wanted to sit. You let them sit with the broken heart. You let them sit with the unmet expectations because they thought they was going to get something or get over on you some sort of way. But it's not happening. Yeah, this is somebody who thought that they could, they felt like they could leave you out in the cold. They felt like you would not look as think as highly about yourself, and you would feel somehow, some way like you didn't belong or you didn't measure up. But that's not it. That's not it. Whatever somebody was trying to do, it's over. It's over. Not only are you getting everything that you want, you're getting everything that you asked for. This is like the wish fulfillment, the double wish fulfillment. You're getting everything that you want, everything that you asked for. Yes, you are getting everything that you want, everything that you asked for. This is you letting your intuition guide you whenever it comes to people playing these games, trying these little tricks. Not only do you listen, not only do you hear, but you also see. You see with your third eye. You see everything. Even though people think that you don't see it, even though people think that you don't hear it, you notice it. Something about your home life. Your home life is turning around. And it's good. Something about, you making it out of the trenches. Like I said, you are getting that wish fulfillment, that double wish, everything that you wanted, everything that you needed. Your prayers are being answered. I feel like there are angels around you. And this could be ancestors, passed over ancestors that are around you, that are guiding you. Charlene, thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you. Yep. Something about, you getting what you're wanting, what you're asking for, but it's not like you're letting on, or you're not out there advertising. That's what it is. You're not advertising, and just that secrecy of you not advertising, but allowing people to see it as you get it or as it happens. Hey, sis, this is what has everybody looking at, like waking up and having a different point of view. People are starting to realize that what they thought of you is not even the truth. They thought that, once you started growing in power, once you started, leveling up, that you would be so happy that you would tell people, hey, I'm leveling up. I'm getting some additional power. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But that's not it. You learn to not say anything because you learned that there was a lot of enemies out there. You learn that loose lips will sink ships. Hey, Tia. Yeah, you just are allowing people to hear it on the grapevine, to hear the message, to hear the conversation when it's going through the ether. You're not necessarily saying anything. And like I said, people, everybody's confused as to how you got this, how you got that. Hi, She Heals 21. How are you? Yeah, people are confused, like how you got it. Like, they're not really sure, but they're gossiping about it. And as they're watching you, they're realizing that, what, there were really no competition towards you, to you. This is people that are watching you realizing that they are no competition for you. And you don't even have to do anything. You're not even speaking about it. You're just being about it. This is that group that's been gossiping about you, doing the worst, trying to play these emotional games, trying to play this mind manipulation shit for the longest. You know, these are a group of people that try to have you fall into these traps. Can't make this up. This is somebody who tried to have you fall into a trap time and time and time again. But this person is realizing they can't. I feel like this person was even trying to offer you something, but you kind of declined. You just stayed to yourself. But this person was making it seem like to everybody else that you was always begging, always begging. Whereas now people are realizing you just stayed to yourself. You never begged. If there was something that you needed, you may have asked, but you wasn't going to sit there and beg. Like they say, oh, they are collective, always begging. No, that's not the truth. Yeah, and somebody was saying that because they wanted to make sure that people looked at you a certain way, like they didn't have any respect for you, like they didn't want you to be happy. They didn't want you to have that 10 of cups. This is somebody that was always, had something bad, about you coming out their mouth. That gossiping, whatever. Hey, Tia 2611. Hello, how are you? We got two Tias. We have talked to Tia, our original Tia, and then Tia 2611. Yeah, see, people, they stop listening to the lies. Now they see the truth about you, and so they stop listening to the lies. They stop. Something about this person that was doing all this lying. Now this is the same person that is ghosted people. They're no longer around. They no longer want to be around because the lies are not lying anymore. It's like it's not working anymore. somebody wants to come towards you with this offer, like whether it's an apology or what, but there's somebody wants to come towards you with something because, like I said, they're realizing that you are a powerhouse alone. Yeah, it's like something about this justice, something about karma, and you getting your just due, you getting this big break, something about a big opportunity coming. And people expected you to be talking about it. They really did. They expected you to be talking about it. They expected you to say something so that they could come in and mess up that opportunity for you. That's what it is. You know how, like, you might be interviewing for a job at Acme Company or whatever, and it's for a high paying position. And you excited about this high paying position, and maybe you excited just to even get the interview, and you telling everybody, yeah, I got an interview for a vice president position, I got an interview for executive director position, I got an interview for this and this and that and the other. They was expecting you to come out and tell your business so that they can somehow mess that up. Then next thing you know, yeah, you in the interview, but the people look like they really don't want to deal with you, or they're like, well, we got somebody else. It's like you stop putting out the good news, and you just started sitting with it by yourself. And then after things have come, after you've been offered the position, just as an example, and started working at the company, and then working in your position for a few months, then you may tell somebody, oh yeah, I started as this, I'm the executive vice president for Acme Company. Yeah, I started that about 6 months ago. So at this point, they know they can't come in and do some shit. Hey, Hypsee. Yeah, because something about, this could be about, your job, like I said, you being awarded this wonderful position that people see, in the company, they see you are very worthy, you're responsible, you're reliable. Hey, Melissa. It's like people can see that you are worthy. People can see that you are worth it. And like I said, you decided that instead of you talking about it, you was just going to go on your way, allow things to, God to lead and guide and direct your steps, and you was just going to start new. But you didn't tell any. Okay, it looked like the computer kind of flashed out a little bit, but that was kind of weird. So yeah, something about I feel like this is a person in a high position that, and this could be a manager and then the boss, or this could be the same person. This is somebody in a very high position, and they're looking at you. They're looking at you, and they're seeing that, what, they feel really good about this. Maybe this working relationship, just using this as an example. And they can see, they feel that, they will be going far with you, or that you would have that tenure there with the company. It's almost like something about you reminds somebody of someone else from the past, and not just somebody else from the past, but somebody that was also a powerhouse, somebody that would also protect themselves, somebody that also would stand up for their rights, or stand up for what is right. Somebody that is not easily tricked. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Yeah, like I said, somebody's watching you. They're watching you to see what you're doing. They're watching you to see if you're going to spill the beans. They're watching you to see if you're going to say something. But this time, you're not talking. You ain't saying shit. You're going to let them just watch and try and figure it out. What's the spirit? What's the message? What's the message? Yeah, because I don't know what it is about people and your business. It's like somebody waiting to hear something, waiting for some information to come in, about what you got going on, about what you're doing, But like I said, your ancestors are here loving on you, protecting you, guiding you, and it's all good. It's all good. It could be about a job. I'm telling you, somebody's going to be shocked that you was even working at a new place, offered a new place, or doing something, maybe you started your own company, and somebody's going to be shocked because they expected you to say something. They expected to be able to hear something. Maybe you was supposed to give a clue as to guess what I'm doing, but you didn't tell nobody. You kept it to yourself. You didn't tell nobody about what you got coming on, what's coming around the mountain. Would you say they'll never know, but there will be signs, right? Yep. See, because somebody was hoping that you would say something so they would have that opportunity to go in and try and ruin something, throw salt on your name or whatever that is. Because this is something that this group has been doing for a while. They've been doing this for the longest, and it's not just one person. It's like they collectively do it together. And you wondering why, how come I didn't get it? How come this opportunity passed me up? What was it about me? How come nobody's ever, and only to find out that there's somebody working against you behind the scenes. What's the message? Somebody trying to work against you behind the scenes. That's too many. But it was this person that's trying to get you caught up. Like I said, this person is the one who's always talking about how you begging. Collective is always begging. I always got to give collective. I had to help collective out. I had to give collective this. I had to give collective that. But it's almost like you knew, what was happening. You just, maybe you didn't know specifically what was happening, but you had an inkling of what was going on. Maybe you didn't know exactly who was saying what, but you had an inkling, and that's all that you needed to be able to have to learn to protect yourself from these attacks. My nose is itching. Having to protect yourself from these attacks. And the only way to protect yourself was not speak, not say anything. Just act like you doing the regular schmegular. Like, yeah, I'm just going to work at my regular job. Ain't nothing happened. Oh, what you dressing up for? Oh, well, they said we taking a company picture today. That's the only reason, because, people were trying to, overburden you, overwhelm you. People wanted these curses. Like I said, they were trying to curse you. And like I said, you had to kind of like with that, it's almost like you got this position with this responsibility. And this group they're like, well, wait a minute. How did that even help? How did they even work out? Because we was all doing this shit. It was supposed to have been confusing, but yet at the same time, collective all of a sudden gets whatever they want. They so happy. What's the message, spirit? Yeah, it's like this group, was trying to curse you. Somebody was definitely doing all that. What's the message, spirit? What else? But yeah, people, I don't know why people feel like that's too many. I don't know why people feel like they have to be in somebody else's business. If they not in somebody else's business, they not happy. Whenever the real reason is they in somebody's business because they not happy. You know? They in somebody's business because they not happy. Something about a relationship or workship or something. Somebody is not happy. And somebody don't want you to meet. I feel like, you know what? Somebody doesn't want you to meet somebody else that's single. Because they feel like this person's going to give you everything that you could possibly want. The happiness, the good life, the this, the that, everything that you could possibly want. Somebody doesn't want you to be able to complete that cycle. They don't. They don't want you to be able to complete that cycle. They want to do whatever it is that they can to stop you. Hey, Mandia FX, how do you say that? How are you? They want to do everything to stop you from going through that cycle, but you already know that's why you keeping it to yourself. And especially because they want to destroy this relationship. You know, it's almost like that's why you ain't got nothing to say. You're not telling nobody about nothing. What's the message? And you know, you can't. You can, but you know what? You just tired of people trying to destroy whatever it is that you're working on. It works for you, but because they jealous or they feeling a certain way, they don't want it to work for you because it don't work for them. Because if it works for them, if it works for you, it definitely won't work for them. They won't be able to keep up the same bullshit that they've been doing. This is why you learning how to protect yourself, defend yourself. That's why you're going to get the victory. That's why you're going to have everything that you possibly want. Because like I said, people don't realize you are a powerhouse by yourself. And with the fact of you not saying nothing to nobody and just walking away from them having the opportunity to hurt you, from them having the opportunity to lie on you, from them having any opportunity to mess your shit up. Hey, Hypsee. Yep. They can't even speak ill of your name anymore. They cannot. Hey, Cleo, how are you? Hypsee, thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What you say, Cleo? I don't want the unwanted and forbidden marriage, and I've been telling everyone that I don't want the marriage. You don't have to get married. What's the message? What's the message? Anything else from this deck? Yeah, I kind of feel like, and it's not necessarily about a relationship. This could be about a job. This could be about anything. You know, it could be about anything. But the fact is, I feel like somebody's learning that keep your good news to yourself. Because other people, they may act like they happy for you, but when it come down to it, they're not really happy for you. Let's get another deck. Bottom of the deck, the Ace of Swords. And that's the truth. When it comes down to it, they're not happy for you. Yep. You already know about people gossiping and who's gossiping. Yep. And people are watching you too. Somebody is watching you. This could be a company that's like doing some research on you or watching you, watch how you work, you know, watching the works that you do. And the fact that you stay to yourself, the fact that you're not really sharing anything, the fact that you don't put your business out there, the fact that you don't feel like you have to be on Front Street, the fact that you don't feel like you have to let everybody know what you're doing. This is what works in your favor. Because the Wheel of Fortune and the world, this is what works in your favor. I feel like you get a lot done. I feel like you accomplish so much, like you accomplish a lot. And people are kind of shocked, like, dang, how did you do so much? Whether, it's at home, you could you and somebody else could have the same amount to do, but you seem to always get yours done, and like you are just a powerhouse. And whereas somebody else, I feel like they stop, they take breaks, they procrastinate, they talk on the phone, they do this, they do that. I feel like you were just you kind of get in there and you get it, whatever it is. Something about you moving forward, and in the way that you're moving forward, you're just so kind, you're happy, you're gentle, you're people. It's not like because there are some people that are so driven that they don't want to talk, they don't want to be human anymore. They just kind of want to focus on whatever, but I don't feel like that's you. Yeah, because I feel like there was some other people that was trying to trip you up. This is why you feel like, I'm going to keep it to myself, because people were trying to trip you up. And it could be with a new position. It could be with a new man. It could be, meeting somebody that's single, somebody that you work well with, somebody that you're going to have a family with, and this could be somebody that you've known from a past life. But you're not playing any emotional games. You're not falling into any traps. What's the message, Spirit? Okay. Yep. You're not falling into any traps with the Justice. What else, Spirit? Yeah, something about, this could be somebody that is at the head of a company, and they see what you're bringing, but something about you doing good work, or there's some type of celebration around you, or you receiving some good news that like I said, somebody's been watching you for a while. They've been checking you out, looking at what you produce, looking at what you do. And I feel like there's going to be some good news, some cause for celebration that's coming around. What's the message, Spirit? Hey, Sonny, how are you? I know, long time no see. Okay. Yep. Something about you're not going to have to be by yourself any longer. This could be somebody that wants to work with you. You're not going to be by yourself any longer. They want to work with you. They want to give you an opportunity. And I feel like this is a powerful, positive opportunity. This is something that you've been waiting to take. Like you want to wait. You want me to be the vice president, executive director, and what I get paid how much, and I only have to work how many hours a day? At least 3 or 4 hours a day, and I get paid all of that. Yeah, I can take that position. I can do that. Yeah, I can do. You need me to start today or tomorrow? Oh, it don't start until next week. Okay, cool. Whatever. I'll be there. What time should I be there? 8. How about this? I'll be there at 7. I'm gonna meet you there. How about that? Yep. Somebody, yeah, they don't want you. You're not gonna be working by yourself. You're not gonna be doing whatever it is by yourself any longer. You know, you were gonna have. I'm hearing partner in crime, but it's not gonna be crime that you're gonna be committing. It's just gonna be that ace boom coon. Yeah, somebody that's gonna do that's gonna do you right. This could be a single. Y'all could be two single people just kind of getting it together. This is somebody from a past life. Both of y'all have a gift. Both of y'all have a gift. Yes, both of y'all have a gift, baby. You know, both of y'all are equally as talented. Both of you had to realize that where you were putting at some point, you know, what you was building up or trying to invest in, at some point you had to stop. Because it's like you had to get on a different path. Or you had to stop because of somebody that you was trying to build with, but that wasn't the right person. But now you had to get on a different path with someone else. I feel like you guys are have known each other from a past life. Yeah, that ride or die. Somebody you've known from a past life. And it seems kind of, you know, comfortable. Not strange, just really comfortable. It's not that, you know, in the beginning when you first meet somebody and y'all don't really know what to talk about, you know, you may be talking chit chat here, you know, but the thing is, it's like you're something about y'all are being drawn together. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Yeah, I kind of feel like this is somebody, this could be at a job and somebody's really looking at you. Hey, Galactic Goddess, figuring out, you know, that you got the game and gone with it. This could be they figuring out with the Queen of Pentacles, you got the game and you gone with it. You know what the hell time it is. You know what you're doing. You know what's going on. Yep. And you know that Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. Although you're not speaking about it, you're just being about it. Yes. And somebody's watching you. They're not doing a lot of talking, but they're watching you. They are looking at you. Uh-huh. What else, Spirit? Anything else? Yep. Here it is. Here y'all are. The equal give and take. I feel like y'all are a good match. Both of you are, you know, very, very generous to those that you care about. You know what I'm saying? It's that equal give and take. I'm not the only one putting in. They ain't the only one putting in. We both putting in collective, putting in together. Yep. We're going to pull some from the stack this morning. What's the message? Yeah, I told you somebody was going one direction, but they needed to plant seeds elsewhere. They had that strong indication that they needed to do something else. They had to go somewhere else and plant seeds because the road that they were on was not the right road for them. And it didn't even have to be no big old drama or trauma. It's just like somebody could have just quietly went on their own way. You know, somebody could have just snuck off like, you know, this is not for me. I'm just going to go on and do my own thing. And you don't have to have no argument. What's the message? Tia, is definitely going to happen. You just have to let God get you together. Hey, Aisha, how are you? Did I say hello, Galactic Goddess? But it's going to happen. Because closed doors lead to new open doors. You had to end something. Yeah, I'm telling you, both of you have high priestess energy. And you're going to be getting something that you want. Yes, there's some divine magic. Something better is coming. Yes, yes, yes. I'm telling you, your family collaborated to stop you. They didn't want you to have anything. Something about you have somebody in your family, maybe a jealous sister that's a thief and a liar, somebody that's green with envy. They didn't want you to have something. You knew that you needed balance. And somebody used, like, you had to do some research, or maybe somebody else was doing some research because somebody's been looking at you that make sure that they had all the information as opposed to jumping off a cliff due to an illusion. They wanted to check you out. Hey, Letitia, how are you? They wanted to check you out. Because it's like they could feel the connection. They felt that you were special. And I feel like you felt comfortable with this person, or you felt drawn to this person. Says somebody was new to the game, but you true to the game. And that could have been your family that was trying to play these emotional games, mind manipulation. They new to the game, but you true to the game because you've been here several lifetimes. This ain't your first rodeo. What else, Spirit? This is not your first rodeo. What else? Anything else? Hey, 24 is not anti-Semitic. How are you? Oh, 24K is not anti-Semitic. That's what it is. How are you, 24K? What's the message? What you say? Peep game from an airplane. Right. Anything else from? Okay. That was a lot. Somebody lost the game. They lost their own game and they own rules. I'm telling you, something about Tuesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Yeah, something because you and your divinity, your life and your spiritual purpose. Somebody with a I, J, K, or L in their first, middle, or last name, that person could be having nightmares because they thought that they was going to be selling your soul. You know, giving the devil your soul and their soul, 2 souls for the price of 1. But you have a divine bodyguard around you, and that was not going to be happening. You know, this is somebody who is an energy vampire. This is somebody who, laughed till they cried. It was funny until it wasn't funny no more. This is somebody that, they had to realize that the freedom is in the truth, or you realize that. This is somebody who, was very stingy, selfish. They didn't want you to have nothing. This is the same type of person that's like, bury all my money with me, because they want to keep everybody else from prospering. They want to be the only one that does something good, that has some goodness come in their life. So that's why they like, bury all my money with me. They love you, not them. And maybe that's somebody that loves you for being so strong, for so, courageous, such a powerhouse, but they haven't learned to love themselves. There's some hidden information that's going to be coming out. There is some hidden information that's going to be coming out. What else, Spirit? We're going to get a couple more. Then I got to get ready to log on, do my straight 8. Anything else from this stack? It says the key to life is love. Yep. And remember that you reap what you sow, so plant good seeds and do good deeds. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and swing this pendulum, get off of here, do my straight 8, because I know it's going to be a busy day. All right. Which way is the pendulum swinging? Which way? And it looks like it's going as a yes. Starting off as a yes. All right, y'all. Thank you so very much. I need to jump off of here. Hypsee, thank you so very much. Everyone else, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate y'all on the live, in the comments. I really appreciate your energy and everything else. I love you all. I will see you soon. Have a fantastic day. Bye now.